Hello everyone. In today's video I'm going to talk about 3 flies. The only 3 flies I would need to go fishing, only dry fly fishing on any river I know, and have some success. Maybe not a great success because nymph would be the best option for most of the situations, but most success if I want to target trout only with dry flies. And these flies are kind of universal. I will use them in different scenarios. One of them is very good for most of them, like for 80-90% of scenarios, and 2 of them are a little bit more specific. Now, let's go with the most specific one. The most specific one is the shuttlecock. Now, you can tie this fly in so many different variations. You should keep it simple. You should use dubbing or pheasant tail and have it from sizes down to 24 and up to, let's say, 12. Shuttlecock is the most specific one because it's not very good for rough water. I've been using it for rough water, that's true, but it shines on glides where the water is glass-like, it's flat, it's smooth. Fish has more time to observe your fly and find some flaws. Now, to tie all of these flies, I'll use Wisp in 8/0 because it's relatively thick, so I can cinch down on the deer hair later on. I'll keep it simple and I'll just cover the body of the, well, shank of the hook first. I'll cover it, and now I'll take some green dubbing, well, olive. This is mostly under fur, as you can see, but there are some guard hairs, and start by taking what I say ridiculously small amount of dubbing in clockwise direction, spin it around the thread, twist it around the thread, and continue doing so as you go down the thread. The reason why I'm doing it in clockwise direction, if you watch it from above, is simple. When you wrap your bobbin holder around the hook shank, you introduce clockwise twists. By doing the same with dubbing, you reinforce the dubbing as you wrap it on the hook shank. And if you do it in the opposite direction, meaning if you dub it anti-clockwise, it may get loose. Not always, but it may get loose. It doesn't happen to me because I tend to dub the fur around the thread quite strong and firm, but it can happen. Now, to add wings to this fly, it's rather interesting approach, I think. I align 2 feathers, 2 tips. I stroke all the barbs I can, like so, and then you want your wing to be more or less the hook length, but because you're going to tie, so this is the hook length, but because I'm going to tie it here, let me just make some thread base, it will catch it better. Because I'm going to tie it to the thorax area, I need to account for the thorax area, so I'll add a little bit more, and then I'll tie it in. Counterspin the bobbin holder. Okay, so the thread jumps 1, 2 smooth wraps, and then pull up. It prevents the thread torque. Now, this is enough to hold everything, and right now I'm gonna cut it by an angle. It's like so. I'm going to shorten it here. I'll cover it with flat thread. Now all the barbs are caught down, they are firmly caught, you cannot pull it out. Now, in like just a couple of wraps, I'm going to go backwards where I want my thorax to begin. For the thorax, you can use anything spiky that you can get your hands on. In my case, I'm using squirrel fur, and now I keep it in this box with deep slots because it doesn't get smashed down, so I always have it in this fluffed up form. Again, dub it. Okay, I'll add a little bit more. If you have smashed down dubbing, it's not as easy to dub. I think this may be enough. Now, I'll just go 1 or 2 wraps here, near the thorax, where the thorax begins, and with firm wraps I'm advancing forward. You will notice that I have left enough room for the head without making any bulk over here. Now, I'll take all the barbs I can, fold them forward, and I will use my nails to guide where I need to make those wraps here. I have this nice wing cover. Now I'll just cinch down on the thread. Okay, and then I'll put it in front. That's all. We've finished. Finish your fly. Now let me tell you something short about this fly. You will understand why I like it so much. I mentioned that fish love it, and that's the primary reason why I use it. It's kind of subtle, and you can use it on very difficult fish. It's super easy to tie, as you can see. It needs just a couple of minutes. When it comes to buoyancy, it's not the best one, but it's still good. It's very low riding fly. Basically anything below this fluff here is going to be underwater, so it's kind of an immersion pattern that's very vulnerable, and fish love this stage of the fly. So picky fish, slow water, easy to tie, these are all advantages of this fly. Disadvantages of this fly are, well, of any fly that has CDC for wings, is once it gets slimed up, you need to wash it thoroughly through the water, use the paper tissue to soak up the moisture, false cast to let it dry. That's all. Now, next 2 flies are kind of twin brothers, and let me just get the hook. I'm using the same hook for all the flies just to show you something very simple, and that's that you don't need all those fancy hooks because you don't need those fancy shapes. The MCO 100 model is probably one of the best hooks ever. When it comes to shape, it's like classic. You can't go wrong with it. It's good if you can get barbless. I'm pinching the barb. Okay. Now, same as more or less any fly. I'll cover the shank with thread. You can start your timer now if you want, because I'll do it rather quickly. Cover the shank. And now I want to use CDC that has relatively thin rachis. With 2 loose wraps, I'm twisting the bobbin holder so I have more control of my thread. Pull up the feather, because if you pull it the other way, the thread will slip. Now, firm wraps. Catch it, cinch it down, and that's it. Leave enough room to tie the wings. Now, what I like to do, I like to twist the feather in the counterclockwise direction, because when I do so, the thread jumps this way, so it means that every rep I make, because of the jump of the feather, every rep will go into the previous one, making it easier for me to make tighter reps. Not super important thing to do, but it makes your life easier. Yeah. Now stroke those barbs, stray barbs, stroke them back, because they will be legs. They will introduce a lot of life into your fly. And this is it. Now I'll hold it here as firmly as I can, because I don't want the feather to untwist. I'll let the thread go between my fingers and I'll pinch it. This is how I actually catch all those barbs. Okay, I'll go super tight on it. I'm trying to catch it super tight on it, yeah, to have this small head here, and that's it. Now with one wrap I'll go back where the thread begins, and that's it. Not super bulky fly. If you have too many barbs, you may want to pinch them out because it can get the fly out of balance. Now I said, and I don't need to make two of them, you can use snowshoe or deer hair, it's up to you. Snowshoe is for low visibility. If you have like very active fish, that's like you're catching it on almost every cast, maybe you don't want to use something that's meant to be washed so often, like CDC. So for those purposes, when the fish is very active, use these two materials for wings, deer hair or snowshoe. Less maintenance, yeah, and it floats forever. I prefer snowshoe here because it's more durable than deer hair, because of the teeth. Teeth can destroy the deer hair a little bit faster, while snowshoe is not so easy to destroy. But white snowshoe, even though it's super visible, can kind of scare fish if the day is let's say more bright, or I'm not sure, but I tend to use it in low light, so in early morning before the sunrise or almost before sunset. So that's when I use the snowshoe, or in very rough water. Now, because I love using deer hair, I'm just gonna take this, cut it, and basically I will use the same approach for deer hair or snowshoe. If you stay until the end, I'll show you a little trick about snowshoe that I like to introduce to all the paws that I have, all the feet, and before I start tying with them. It goes inside. Now, always remove the hair from the stacker in the direction you want to tie it in, so tips going this way. Try to manipulate it as little as you can. So as you can see here, I'm aligning the hair here. I'll go down, touching the hook, and I'll transfer my hands. Now, twist the bobbin holder. It will core the thread, make it stronger. It will cinch deeper into the hair, so it will hold it more firmly, and you will have more control. So 1, loose wrap a little tight here, 2, and then pull up. Okay, now I'll make 1, 2 more reps. So this is 4 reps for now. 5, 6, and here you can go under and flatten the thread a little bit, because flat thread will allow the knot to go better. Like it will lay more flat, it will kind of get more it will lay, those layers will align better. Yeah, let's pull this backwards, the thread, and I can feel it tightening through all those wraps. Cut it. I'm trying to take all those buttons and I'll go and cut them together in one snip, and that's it. CDC and elk. Same applies for the snowshoe, but you don't have those buttons. You want to cut them before you tie everything in. But what I do with the snowshoe foot before I start tying is I come in with my scissors and I cut all those hairs from the sides, those hairs that I'm not going to use. I cut them all so I have easy approach. So if I want to cut something here, I start, as you can see, from here, pinch it, I cut it, and it's easy access to the hair that I need. And that's it. 3 very easy flies, very easy to use, very lifelike. Now look at those legs. Like, imagine this sitting on the water and moving. It introduces a lot of life into your fly, and it's buoyant, catches fish. So that's it. Now all 3 flies, cast them into seams where the 2 different currents are meeting each other or going in the opposite directions. Any likely spot, just cast. I don't know why some people like to cast dry fly only when they see fish rising. Trouts are opportunistic feeders. They will eat your dry fly more often, even when you don't see any risers. Just cast over there. It's about presentation. Extend your leader, extend your tippet, because if you have short leader and short tippet, it's like wire connection. You cast, it opens up, your leader is straight, your tippet is straight. The same second you lay your leader and the tippet on the surface of the water, you will get some drag, and the dry fly, it's no. So what you need is simply extend your leader. I like 12-15 feet leaders. I cut maybe 30 to 50 centimeters top part, and then I add tippet ring usually and my tippet. If I can find any leaders that have tip part that's, let's say, 4x, or around 4x, then I will attach tippet ring directly to the leader without cutting it. So I have effectively 12 to 15 foot leader plus at least 4 or 5 feet of tippet material. So that's quite difficult thing to cast if you're not used to it, and even the slightest wind can cause you a lot of trouble, especially in the longer casts. But what happens there is your leader kind of straightens up, but the tip part of the leader plus tippet will go into those snake-like squiggly shapes, and all those currents, as they hit your leader, will tend to straighten it up. By the time they straighten it up, your fly is drifting for like a couple of seconds or even like a lot more, and the fish has more time to observe your fly, to hit your fly, and the fly is drifting naturally. So guys, I hope this video helped you somehow. I hope you liked it, and until next time, keep safe and tight lines.